So hello guys, welcome back to part 3 of the Soccer Sofa's end of season awards, and we're moving on now to manager of the season, and there's no better place to start than Jack Cox, obviously a massive Chelsea fan. I haven't been looking forward to this part, I'll be honest with you, but go ahead mate.
Can you guess who my pick for manager of the season is?
Mourinho.
No, obviously I'm going to go with Antonio Conte. I mean, I tried my best with this to put my bias aside, but yeah, I don't think you can look past him. I mentioned it in part 1 on Player of the Season, but taking a team that finished 10th last season and turning them into what they are, what they have been this season, has been fantastic from Antonio Conte, and he's done it with players who.
Do you want to show everyone your Conte tattoo?
Piss off now. No, but he's done it with players that you wouldn't expect to be title winners. Victor Moses, you mentioned Alonso in the last one, and even players like Pedro, who looked like a bit of a waste of money last season, and I think even players like Cahill as well. I didn't expect him to be playing much this season, and he's looked fantastic at times. And I think it's all down to the man in charge. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I couldn't sing his praises enough.
I think one of the things that's really stood out to me for him this season is that you didn't start off the season brilliantly well. Obviously, Manchester City were top after 6 games after winning all 6 of their games.
Yeah.
But Conte recognised that, and he was like, "No, I'm going to play this system. I'm going to play the system that I believe will get us as high up as as high up in this league as possible." He changed to 3 at the back, and it worked so well for him. And you've got to say that is entirely down to Antonio Conte, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not down to the players; it's down to him.
I mean, he's a ruthless manager as well. He's not scared. Going into the Premier League with 3 at the back's always risky. Just look at Louis van Gaal when he tried to do it at United. It doesn't work all the time. And also, I think it's worth noting as well in January how we dealt with the Diego Costa situation and him wanting to go to China. I think he dealt with that really, really well, and he put his foot down. You're not leaving this team, not now anyway. And Costa got back scoring towards the end of the season again.
Yeah, he did well to cope with him, didn't he?
Yeah, and you'll get a nice 90 mil for him or whatever it is.
Yeah, bring it on, eh?
Oh.
Yeah, get rid of him.
That's for another podcast. That's for another podcast.
So Dobby, who's your manager of the season?
Well, I'm going to go for man in second place, Mauricio Pochettino. It's not often that you manage the team with the best attack with 86 goals scored, the best defence with 26 goals conceded, and you don't win the league.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it shows Chelsea you've done really well. But I think Poch is, and the fact unbeaten at home all season, bar Wembley, but that don't really count, does it? That's not really home until next year. I think that's a really great achievement. And the fact that he's consistently bringing through not bringing through this year, but just developing them into
top players. Yeah,
I think that's the sign of a top manager when they pick players out that maybe other managers wouldn't start and wouldn't put into the limelight straight away. But Pochettino, he does put them in, and the same with Koeman. None of us have gone for Koeman, but he's that type of manager that picks a young player out and thinks, no, I think you're good enough, and gives him a chance and plays him. And Pochettino does that brilliantly. Yeah.
Because he gave Harry Kane his first team spot. I mean, this is a few years ago, obviously, and he brought Dele Alli, and I think he's massively developed players like Danny Rose, and he brought in Eric Dyer.
I think he's turned a lot of players in that Spurs team into top players.
Yeah,
he really has.
And I think, as well as he's done, and he has done brilliantly, I think the biggest problem for Spurs going into next season, I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been Jamie Carragher, was they haven't got the mega money to compete with that sort of stratospheric level club.
But that is why they're moving to this new stadium to be able to compete with them eventually.
Oh yeah, but they won't at least for the next sort of 4 or 5 years at least, I reckon. And if they want to improve, who are they going to bring in that they can afford that will improve this team?
They'll have to sell to buy by the looks of things.
But why would they? I think.
Yeah.
Well, they've done that before, haven't they? And selling Bale, selling Modric, you've got to say that is now looking back, that's been good business, because they've got that has got them to the place that they're in now. But I think that Daniel Levy having a manager such as Pochettino is going to be so important for them, because he can bring those young players through, and he doesn't have to rely on splashing the cash on players that are proven in other leagues but may not necessarily come into the Premier League and do well. Like Lamela didn't do well in his first season. He hasn't really before. Well, he's been nowhere to be seen this season.
He's been injured.
Has he?
Yeah, he got injured in like the third week.
He's been injured all season.
Yeah,
He has.
Has he?
yeah.
Oh, right.
He was really good last season.
Yeah. So my manager of the season is Eddie Howe. He took Bournemouth up to the Premier League 2 seasons ago, and of course they finished in ninth position this season, level on points with Southampton, but just behind on goal difference. And if they had have finished ahead of Southampton, then they would have topped that mini league between 8th and 12th. They finished above West Brom this season, and everyone was saying how much of a marvellous job Tony Pulis has been doing this season. And I just want to say that in game week 26, they were 4 points off the bottom 3, and since game week 26, they've played 13 games and they've lost just 2 against Chelsea and Spurs.
Really?
Top 2 teams then, yeah.
Yeah, but against the top 2 teams in the league. So to be managing a team that was under threat of being in a relegation fight, to go on that run from, I think it was March to the end of the season, that's just brilliant. He's just done brilliantly well there. I would say the only thing that he needs to improve on is his ventures in the transfer market.
I'd agree.
He's obviously signed younger talent this year. Jordan Ibe, Lewis Cook, Brad Smith from Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
So he's investing for the future, and they haven't made an impact in the first team this year, but hopefully they will in the coming seasons, and then that will show that was good business. But yeah, it's going to be tricky for him to, pick up players ready for that team. I think
It's also important for a club the size of Bournemouth to have that potential stability going into the sort of long run. Because if they do get relegated in the next few seasons, they do have these younger players who won't be sort of itching to jump ship if they do get relegated, because they'll want game time. So it could pay off, and it's hedging your bets in a way.
Yeah, I see.
Jack Wilshere though, I'm not sure about that.
Well, that still shows that Eddie Howe can attract that type of player, because before this season, Jack Wilshere would have been hoping maybe to try and break into Arsenal's team, and he's gone to Bournemouth and he's thought, no, I think this manager has a decent style of play, and I want to go and play for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part 3 of the Soccer Sovers end of season awards. Are you going to go with Dobby, who went with Pochettino? I obviously went with Eddie Howe, and Jack
Antonio.
Antonio. Oh God.
I can't bring myself to say that. Sorry, mate.
So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Next time we're going to be talking about our breakout start of the season.